Hey, what's going on, guys? Yugiman002 here, and today I'm bringing you guys a little bit more of Yu-Gi-Oh! News. Today I'm bringing you guys some news on another archetype, which is the Tellaknight archetype. Um, they are very good, they are very powerful, they are Xyz machines. May I put that in there? Um, they're just crazy powerful. I'm pretty much all last night I was testing these on DN, and I was just blowing through matches like crazy. Like the amount of good games the people had to write in the comments box like before their life points were even like halfway done because they knew they were gonna lose. That's the kind of stuff that I was getting. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. These things are crazy good. So let's just get started with them. First we have Satella Knight Altair. Um, for each of the Tellaknights, you can only use their effect once per turn. So once per turn, you can only use the effect once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can target one Tellaknight monster in your graveyard except Satellaknight Altair. Special summon that monster in face-up defense position, and if you do activate this effect, monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of the turn except Tellaknight monsters. So it is definitely it is pretty much the key card in the deck, if I had to say so, or one of the two key cards in the deck. Because it does help you get out a lot of plays, and sometimes you do want your monsters to just go to the graveyard um, early on in the game, so you want to set them, because some of these have very little to no defense, and it's very very easy for them to get sent to the grave, and then Altair can just get them right back out. Next we have Satella Knight Deneb. You can only use the effect once per turn. This card is summoned. Now notice all these are if it is summoned. That can mean normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned. It doesn't matter. You all get the effect no matter what. So when this card is summoned, you can add one Tellaknight monster from your deck to your hand, except Satella Knight Deneb. Now, this is the other key card in the deck for getting them to your hand, and depending on what your circumstance is, you're going to want to bring different ones to your hand. Now, next we have Satella Knight Sham. This is a really good card. You can only use the effect of it once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, which is crazy good, because I've summoned this card up to 5 or 6 times in one turn, and then they're depleted to 2,000 life points, and then you pretty much just finish the game. Um, Now it does say once per turn, but this card does get recycled, and if you summon it 3 times, like say you normal summon it once, and then you have like double summon, you special summon the monster that's coming up next. That allows you to special summon again. You special summon one of these. That's 2,000, and then it's a loop, and it's not a loop, but it's an OTK route that you can do, and I'll show you guys that later. Um, Next, Satella Knight Unukali Kalai Unukalai. I'm pretty sure. You can only use the effect once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can send one Tellaknight monster from your deck to your graveyard, except Satella Knight Unukai. Okay, Unukalai, whatever. So this goes really good with Altair, because this sends the monsters to the grave. This special summons them out of the grave, and then they activate their effects because they're just summoned. So it's really, really, really good. They get some pretty broken loops in this. Next we have Satella Knight Vega. This is pretty much like an extra double summon. You can only use the effect of Satella Knight Vega once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can special summon one Tellaknight monster from your hand, except Satella Knight Vega. So it's a good card. It's good for getting like instant Xyz. Um, yeah. Next, moving on to spells, they have two spell cards. One of them being Satella Knight Factor. Now these cards aren't in TCG yet, so I'm pretty sure that this card might change to Stella Knight Factor. I'm not exactly sure though. It is an equipped spell card, equip only to a Tellaknight monster you control. It gains 500 attack and defense, so that's pretty good off the bat. Also, It is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. That just blows it through the roof right there. If you control a monster that is not a Tellaknight monster, destroy this card. Which is good for me, because when I run this deck, I only run 2 monsters that aren't Tellaknight monsters, excluding Xyz, but that's it works very well in my deck. Next we have Star-Crossed Tellaknights. You can only activate one of them per turn. Target one Tellaknight monster you control. Special summon one Tellaknight monster with a different name from your deck, meaning a different name than the one that you targeted that you control. And if you do, shuffle the one that you targeted into the deck. While you control the special summon monster, you cannot special summon monsters except Tellaknight monsters. So it's a very good card for because it is a quick play spell card. So you can your opponent's battle phase, they go to attack one of your monsters, and you can just activate this. Say you've got a Sham out since it's low on attack, and you say your opponent's monster has about maybe 1600 attack, just round it out here. It's pretty much an average number. Then you can just activate this, special summon this from your deck, and then send one to the grave because you still get its effect. So really, really good. These monsters, they're so good. Their traps, however, they have 2 traps as well as spells. They have 2 of each. Now the traps aren't as good. The first one being Celestial Aura. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can special summon one Tellaknight monster from your hand. Now, this may sound like a great, like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Um, it's really not. The only part, because it gets cloggy, and you can't really run this at more than 3, because then it overpowers your monsters, and you might have, like, 2 of these in your hand, plus, like, maybe 1 or 2 Tellaknights. So, it does get cloggy, and in my deck, I run it at 2, and I'm thinking about knocking it down to 1, because it still is a tiny, tiny bit cloggy. Sometimes you get it when you really just don't want it, and, like, at all. So, it's 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 an okay card, I'm gonna say. Next, Celestial Factor. Now, this is another one of those cards that I think might be changed to Factory. Not exactly sure, just saying that. When a spell card, trap card, or monster effect is activated, send one face-up Tellaknight monster you control to the graveyard. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Then draw 1 card. This is the good one, the better of the 2, I should say. Downside is you get rid of a Tellaknight, which honestly isn't that big deal because Altair can just bring it back. Um, then you can pretty much negate anything. Almost you can pretty much negate anything unless it says this effect cannot be negated. Um, and then you destroy it, so it's good. And then you draw 1 card, so that adds draw power, which adds consistency, which makes this deck good. Next, we're moving into Xyz. They have 1 Xyz monster that is Stellanite Delta Theros. Oh, I forgot to mention, all of these monsters are warrior type, and they're all light monsters. Stellanite Delta Theros, 3 level 4 monsters. It is so easy to pull that off, you have no idea. And it's generic, so you can use this in just more than this deck, so it's pretty good. When you normal summon or special summon a monster, well, this card has Xyz material, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. See, I'm going to put this card a little towards the broken side. Even though the next one that I'm going to show you, which isn't necessarily a Satellanite or Tellaknight, sorry, Xyz monster, is even more broken than this card. But this card is pretty broken. When you normal summon or special summon a monster, while this card has an Xyz material, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. That's like they can't even normal summon or special summon. Now, you may be saying, like, but you can't really normal summon or during your opponent's phase, during your opponent's turn. That's not true. You do have Star-Crossed Stellanites. So, let's say that you have this out, Star-Crossed Stellanites activates, you get rid of, let's say you have just another one just on your field, you send that to the graveyard, and then you special summon another one, then it sort of just blocks everything of theirs because they can't normal summon, they can't special summon, and they can't trigger anything to activate cards or effects. So it is really, really good. It's like Star Eater. So you bring Star Eater out. Here, I'll pull him up real quick. I'll show you his effect. Star Eater's effect. Must be synchro summoned, cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card's synchro summon cannot be negated. When this card is synchro summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated. So this card that is insanely easy to bring out has the same effect as a level 11 synchro monster, which is just completely insane and just doesn't make sense to me. So it's really, really good. Trust me. And then it's got two more effects. You still didn't see those yet. Once per turn, you can attach one excuse material from this card, then target one card on the field and destroy it. Like, hello. Um, this is like, it's sort of like an Ouroboros, but 20 times better. Because Ouroboros just sends it back to the hand, and this just, bye. Then its third effect, if this card is sent, and you can all use these the same turn, really, it doesn't really matter. Except for destroying one by detaching, that's once per turn. The next is, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one Tellaknight monster from your hand to your deck. So, that's crazy good. Now, let's just say, you would assume, since it has 3 level 4s on it, that this thing would be going to the grave with at least 1 or 2 materials still on it, right? When that goes to the grave, you can just special summon an Altair from your deck or your hand, depending on where you have it, and then you can special summon whatever one of those materials were that you used for this card, and then you just have 2 Tellaknights on your field ready, and it's really, really good. Next is pretty much cards that I think go very, very well with this deck. Uh, First of them being Honest, because they're all light monsters, so it's really, really good. And it is also a level 4, so if you're kind of desperate, you can just normal summon this and bring it into your Delta, whatever. Next, for spell cards, I think go well. One is Constellar Belt, which is really, really good. The activations of light monsters' effects cannot be negated, so that's really, really good for like Fiendish Chain and Valor and stuff. It's really, really, really good. I wouldn't run more than 1 or 2 because you don't need that much. Next, we run one Light Laser. This card's been out forever. Maybe not forever, but this card's been out for a while, and it looks like it was just made for this deck. It's called Light Laser. It is an equip spell card. Its effect is equip only to a light warrior type monster, which is what all the Tellaknights are. Remove from play any monsters that battle with it at the end of the damage step. So this card pretty much turns it into an ally of Justice Cataster on roids. See, instead of just destroying it and it has to be a dark monster, this is banishing it and being any monster. And this is like an unlimited print card. This isn't even semi-limited or limited or even banned. This card is just crazy, crazy good. And then for the Xyz monster that I was telling you about, that is the super duper broken one. That's it's really, really hard to beat. That is number 86, Heroic Champion Rongamiant. Rongamiant. 2 or more level 4 warrior type monsters, which is what all you run is, pretty much. Maximum of 5, right? So this kind of gets what was it? It was like what I said in the Cosmic Dragon video. The Crystal Beast Field spell, right? You depending on how many you have in your Crystal Beast monster you have in your spell trap zone, depends on the effect. Like say you have 1, you'll get this effect. You have 2, you get a better effect. This is pretty much that. It is 1500 attack, 1500 defense, and this card gains effects based on the number of Xyz material attached to it, right? So 1 or more, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Already good. 2 or more, this card gains 1500 attack and defense. So that means it can't be destroyed by battle, and it's a 3000 beater on both ends. Then 3 or more, which is not that hard, this card is unaffected by other card effects, which is like Beals that can't be, well, Beals can't be destroyed, but that's like, actually, wait, It's exactly like Beals because Beals has 3,000 attack. It can't be destroyed. Uh, I think. Oh yeah, Beals just can't be destroyed by card effects. This is like it's unaffected by them. So can it's like what is it? Leo, the level 10 synchro, that's unaffected by or can't be targeted by card effects until your main phase two. This is like that, but on roids, like I'm saying. Then four or more. This is where you're kind of getting lucky here. Your opponent cannot normal or special summon. Like, dude, that is broken as anything. Seriously. And this is only four. There's one more step left. See, if you have five or more, you turn this into an Exciton Knight. Once per turn, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card is BROKE and broken. Mind you, if you have all five, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls, and your opponent still can't normal or special summon, and it still can't be it is still unaffected by card effects, and it still has 3,000 attack and defense, and it still can't be destroyed by battle. How do you beat this, you may ask? I thought that too. I thought it was indestructible. I thought it was amazing, and then I realized, oh, during your opponent's end phase, detach one exists material from this card, and I was just like, whew. I took like the biggest sigh of relief I'd ever seen in my entire life. It was like it warmed my heart to the point where like I almost cried. um, but no, seriously, like this thing is crazy broken, and I know that your Yu-Gi-Oh channel. I don't know if you guys subscribe to him, but he had a guest on and he ranted about Yu-Gi tubers saying that, oh, this card's broken way too often when it doesn't actually break the game. This card kind of breaks the game a little bit because there are so many warrior decks out there. No, well, there's elemental heroes, right? There's um, masked hero, which is pretty much the same thing, but like they have the DD decks, the Amazoness decks, now the Satellite decks. This card is just really, really, really crazy good to the point where I can't even extend it. Other cards that do go well with this deck, Heroic Champion Excalibur, another Xyz monster. Detach two from it. It's two level 4 warrior type monsters, sorry. You can attach two Xyz material and double its attack. So it's crazy. But it's original attack, so you can't like soup it up with like mage power and United Be Stand and stuff like that. So that way it has like 6,000 attack already, and then you double it to 12k and you just blast them out of the park. Nah, it's the original attack, so it can only double the 4,000 attack, which is still a lot. I mean, think of how much attack Obelisk the Tormentor has. That's 4,000. That's a lot. Some other cards that go well. Starleech Paladin Ammo. Since they're all light monsters, it is two level 4 light monsters. Once per turn, you can attach two seed material from this card. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0, and if it does, its effects are negated. So it's like Fiendish Chain on steroids. Like everything in this deck is on steroids from a different card. It's just crazy. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you draw one card. So again, even more draw power. It's just a ridiculously good, crazy card. Another card that goes well, Constellar Omega. Now, say you can only get, it's like uh, your opponent got first turn, and now you are still on your first turn, but you are technically turn 2 of the whole match, or the whole duel. It would be very smart to summon this if you could only get 2 of the Tellaknights, because you can attach one existing material from this card. All constructed monsters you currently control are unaffected by spell or trap effects this turn. So it's really, really good because usually people set decent back row first turn. So that is something to be aware of. So there is one more card. It is right here. Hero Champion Gendiva. Gendiva, I don't know how to pronounce it, but It is two level 4 warrior type monsters. Once per turn, when a level 4 or lower monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, except during the damage step, you can detach one executor from this card, destroy that special summon monster or monsters. So it's really good for getting rid of things like tour guide. You can just get rid of that. Or what was what's the other one? The new I think I have it over here. Yeah, the new heroic challenger, Thousand Blades. Discard one, special summon one from your deck, and you just keep special summoning these until you have three, and that's how you make one of these that's super souped up. Yeah, so that's about it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you guys do try and make your own deck. I will have a deck profile for these later this weekend, or maybe even later today. I'm not sure, but I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like down below. Um, I might be putting up a few more videos today, so just stay tuned for those. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Yugi Man 002 signing out.